Episode 92, The Healing Pleiadian Energy. Hi, this is Ruth Elizabeth Hancock, host of Work Your Energy podcast, which is a show all about how to thrive in this energetic universe that we live in. This week, I've been inspired to talk about our cat, who has been really ill. We got back from our holiday in Italy, and literally stepping off the plane, our cat sitter informed us that she had taken our cat to the hospital and we weren't certain if he was going to live. He had renal failure, which of course can be really serious, life-threatening in humans and definitely in cats. We rushed to the vet and were told that he was paralyzed, he couldn't walk, he was on a drip now, he had blood in his urine and had just had emergency surgery. Of course, the first thing I did was to do some healing on him, and as I was a bit panicked at the time, I literally just called on every modality, every energy that I've ever worked with. I just called on all of it to heal his body. The vet had told us that it was touch and go if he would survive, and I just wanted to make sure that he could get through these next few days, or these next 24 hours even. So after an hour of healing, we left him in the surgery. And the next day, I called the clinic and I asked how he was and was told that he was much better. He was no longer paralyzed. He had actually managed to eat something and drink something, and he had been able to pass urine and also a stool as well. There was still blood in his urine, which the vet felt was bladder damage, but his temperature, which had been incredibly low, was now normal, so he was starting to mend. The good thing about doing healing on animals is that they don't carry all the limiting beliefs and limited thoughts and inner critic and everything around that humans do, so they're actually much easier to heal. And this is why Reiki is so popular to use on animals. The next evening, we went back into the clinic and I again began to look at healing him, but this time I was very called to work with the Pleiadian energy, which interestingly is an energy that I hadn't used for a while. It is actually one of the first energies, if not the first energy I connected to when I learnt how to channel, when I worked with the shaman. And it is a beautiful, loving energy and one that I highly recommend. In fact, anyone can connect to the Pleiadian energy. You only have to ask, you only have to set the intention, and it is done, so to speak. I'm just about to release my second book, which is a collection of some of the earlier channelings I did, and many of them will include speaking with the Pleiadian energy or channeling or downloading, whatever you want to call it. For me, channeling is a wonderful experience. It's a very private, meditative experience. It's very, very uplifting, leaves you feeling very positive, and also leaves you feeling very clear and empowered and enlightened, which I think is really important in today's world. It actually helps with everything in your life. But of course, in this particular instance, I wanted to use it for healing. And healing in life-threatening circumstances like this, I think, will pretty much always work unless the person or animal doesn't want to be healed. And sometimes people, animals, they just want to go, or it is their time. It is their time to check out and there's nothing you can do. So I settled myself down, put my arms around Simba again, and he was purring away madly, so he was already very happy. But this time, as I closed my eyes, I started to visualize beautiful entities, beings, walking into the room wearing long flowing tunics, having long, beautiful, blonde, brown hair. And as they circled around us, they were all holding hands and they were just circling around Simba and just spreading all of this love into the room. You really could feel the whole room warming up. But then what happened next was really incredible, and I just felt that I had to share this with other people today. And that was that Simba started to look around the room. His head was turning, he was looking all around him. You could see that he was looking at something, he was looking behind my shoulder, he was not looking at us. He was turning his head so much as if he was trying to capture the attention or trying to understand who all these beings were in the room. And it was such an incredible moment. I had already known from our healing session the night before that he wasn't going to die, and I know that he's going to be with us a lot longer. He is a very old, wise soul. We stayed in this position for an hour as we just let this beautiful, harmonious and healing energy envelop us and fill up the room. It was a wonderful experience, and as we were doing this healing, I started to connect to the soul of Simba, and I wanted to ask him some questions. I wanted to understand why he was here, what had happened to him, how he had got sick, all these different things, because obviously everything is consciousness. Consciousness has a voice, everything has a voice. You can talk to everything and anything, whether you believe this or not. It really is just something that I think we should all try at least once in our life and just see what the response we get back, and just have that open mind, maintain an open mind and reflect on what you're hearing back, what the answers are that you're getting back. It's not necessarily something that you have to believe, it's not necessarily something you have to act on, but I do think that if nothing else, it gives us much deeper access to our own wisdom and much deeper awareness of ourself. Every time we connect to the energies around us, we actually get a healing at that point, because as soon as we open ourselves up, open our minds up, our hearts, our bodies up to the electromagnetism of the energy field around us, we're opening ourselves up to another dimension, and which is another aspect of us. Our soul lives in multiple dimensions, but we are only aware of this third dimension. But we are surrounded by other dimensions too. And when we connect to those multidimensional aspects of us, or those other dimensional aspects of us, we can connect to more awareness about ourselves. We can connect to more information about ourselves, and we can gain a far deeper understanding of who we are and why we're here, what makes us happy, what we want to do in our life, all the things that can help us to have more meaning and purpose in this life, in this 3D existence that we're living. And so the reason I wanted to share this with you today is because I want you to know that you can also connect to the Pleiadian energy as well. So if you need any healing, if you're wanting to heal any loved ones, if you're wanting to find deeper awareness or information about yourself, then you can connect to these beautiful Pleiadian energies who will help you to feel better in this 3D world. Whatever your beliefs are around interdimensional beings or extraterrestrial beings or multidimensional beings or ultra-terrestrial beings, it doesn't really matter. You can see this as deeper parts of yourself always. I do believe that we are surrounded by extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings, entities. I believe that we live in a telepathic universe, which I talk about in my first book, Work Your Energy. And through quantum entanglement, we can connect to anything, everything. And I think being super aware of the invisible world around us and the multidimensional aspects around us, I think is really important living in this physical world. And I think the more of us that know this, the easier life is going to get. So if you're interested to learn more about Pleiadian energy, then you may like my new book that's coming out in the next couple of weeks on Amazon. And that is a book compiled of different channeled blogs that I wrote when I first started working with the shaman and first started working with the Pleiadian energy. I was actually too embarrassed or scared to publish it before because I felt like it just, sounded a little bit crazy. But now I feel that it will be really helpful to people who are searching for answers. They have many, many questions and they're looking for information. We're all now beginning to wake up. There is a mass great awakening going on in the world as we move into this fifth dimension. And I think it's really important for more of us to wake up as fast as we possibly can, because the faster this happens, the quicker we're going to get to this fifth dimensional world that we are moving into now. And as we move into this fifth dimensional world, we will actually start to leave the lower fourth dimension, which is where many of us are now, also the third dimension, but we're now sort of moving through the lower and into the upper fourth dimension. And in this dimension, we still have low vibrational entities and beings which can still affect us and affect our mental health. So moving into the fifth dimension will allow us to get beyond these lower fourth dimensional beings and allow us to literally become invisible to them. So they will no longer be able to see us, and therefore they'll no longer be able to interfere with us. And this is going to make a huge difference to the positivity in our world. I believe it's going to make mental health issues, depression, all of these things a thing of the past. And the sooner we can get into this more positive world, this more positive state of mind, I think the better that everything is going to be. And definitely it's going to be better for the next generations to come. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Okay, in the meantime, have a great week. Take care. All right, bye.